world we live in today thrives on reaction. Entire systems are built to provoke you, to manipulate your emotions, and to feed off your attention. The more reactive you are, the more easily controlled you become. Every scroll, every headline, every argument is a spark, waiting to set your inner peace on fire. But what if you could become untouchable? What if you could walk through the chaos without letting a single flame catch? This isn't just a dream. It's an ancient practice, reborn for modern times. Today, we walk the wisdom path toward becoming truly untouchable. To be untouchable is not to escape the world, but to face it with such composure, such clarity, and such mastery over yourself that nothing can disturb your inner state. This is not detachment in the cold sense of indifference. It is detachment as the Stoics understood it, a fierce and rational clarity rooted in reason and aligned with nature. 1. The world is loud, but you don't have to be. We're conditioned to think that reacting is power, that defending ourselves, explaining ourselves, or fighting back is how we win. But the truth is, the strongest force is calm. When someone tries to provoke you and you don't respond, you break their power, you shift the dynamic. This is not about weakness or passivity. This is poise. This is inner mastery. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This single sentence holds the key to emotional invincibility. You don't control the traffic, the economy, your partner's words, or the weather. But you do control your judgment. And in the realm of judgment lies your freedom. The world screams for your attention, but you can choose silence. You can choose stillness. In doing so, you stop being a slave to noise and start becoming the author of your response. Epictetus put it clearly, it's not things that upset us, but our judgment about things. So how do you stop being triggered? You reclaim the gap, the sacred space between stimulus and response. The world is loud, but you don't have to be. 2. Emotional triggers are not your enemy, they're your map. In the Stoic worldview, every challenge is fuel for virtue. Every insult, every rejection, every failure is an opportunity to grow in wisdom, patience, courage, and justice. When someone offends you, ask yourself, what virtue is this moment asking of me? Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, taught that anger is a kind of madness, and most modern triggers are built to make you mad, literally and figuratively. But to the Stoic mind, emotion is not to be suppressed, but understood. A wise person is not emotionless. He is emotionally aware, but not emotionally ruled. So, when you feel triggered, pause, observe, reflect, ask, why does this affect me so deeply? Most likely the cause is internal, a wound, an insecurity, an attachment. By investigating the trigger, you gain clarity, and clarity is the beginning of freedom. The Stoics believed that everything can be transformed into practice, even being offended, especially being offended. 3. Detachment is not indifference. It's rational freedom. To modern minds, detachment can sound like coldness, but to the Stoics, detachment, or apatheia, meant freedom from irrational passions. It was not the absence of feeling, but the presence of reason. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, taught that our suffering arises not from the world itself, but from our unhealthy attachments to outcomes. When we cling to control, to reputation, to status, we become vulnerable. But when we surrender to what we cannot change and focus only on what we can, our character, our effort, our will, we become untouchable. A Stoic does not numb themselves. They see reality as it is and choose the most rational path forward. The criticism of others, that's their judgment. Your job is to judge whether it's true and whether it matters. Most of the time, it doesn't. Detachment, therefore, is not withdrawal. It's a reorientation, from external dependence to internal sovereignty, from illusion to essence, from chaos to cosmos. 4. The still core, building your inner refuge. Epictetus taught that you must build your inner citadel, a place within that no force can shake. This citadel is made of discipline, clarity, and the steady practice of virtue. Every day you are tested. Every day someone or something tries to pull you out of yourself. The world will bait you, with injustice, with offense, with temptation. But your job is not to control the bait. Your job is to not bite. The Stoic trains themselves the way an athlete trains for war. Morning reflections, evening self-inquiry, journaling, meditation. These are not spiritual luxuries. They are shields. When you build this still core, you no longer react out of impulse. You respond from wisdom. You become the eye in the storm. The world still spins, but you are anchored. 5. Amor Fati, love everything that happens. The ultimate Stoic superpower is not just resilience, it's Amor Fati, the love of fate, not just accepting what happens, but embracing it as necessary. Friedrich Nietzsche, influenced heavily by Stoicism, wrote, "My formula for greatness in a human being is Amor Fati, that one wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity." When you love what happens, not because it's easy, but because it's yours, you rise above circumstance. Insults, delays, rejections. They no longer disturb you. They become material for strength, for insight, for greatness. When life throws fire, the untouchable doesn't burn. They forge. 6. Practice voluntary discomfort. The Stoics weren't content with theory. They practiced discomfort deliberately, fasting, cold baths, wearing rough clothes. Why? Because it made them stronger. It made them free. When you expose yourself to discomfort willingly, the world loses its power to frighten you. When you train your mind to be content with less, insults lose their sting. When you remind yourself of mortality, petty arguments become irrelevant. Voluntary discomfort isn't punishment, it's preparation. You're not avoiding life's hardships. You're becoming fit for them. 7. Let insults return to the sender. Someone insults you. Do you take it personally? Do you argue? Do you rage? Or do you, as Epictetus advised, return it like a bad package, unopened, untouched, undisturbed? The untouchable does not absorb poison. They recognize its source and let it pass. What others say about you is their business. What you believe about yourself is yours. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't be. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. Your perception is your power." 8. Memento Mori. Remember you will die. To live without being triggered is to live with perspective. And nothing gives perspective like death. When you remember that life is short, arguments lose their urgency. When you reflect on mortality, gossip becomes noise. You stop reacting and start cherishing. Memento Mori, remember death, is not morbid. It is clarifying. The clock is ticking. You don't have time to be triggered. You have time to live, wisely, deeply, fearlessly. Becoming untouchable isn't about escaping life. It's about entering life fully, but from a place of deep power, deep calm, and deep clarity. The world will still try to provoke you, but you will be the eye of the storm. This is the wisdom path, a path walked by emperors, philosophers, warriors, and seekers. A path of reason, virtue, and inner freedom. Walk this path daily, not in grand gestures, but in small conscious moments. And one day you'll realize, nothing outside you can disturb the truth inside you. You've become untouchable. Welcome to the wisdom path.